Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than meta. I want to apologize to everybody. This is the busiest time of the year for my job. We have a ton of business. I had weekends off, family trips and stuff like that, business trips, and I just really haven't had a chance to play Madden. It's always a grind for me that when Madden drops, it just happens to be the busiest time of the year for my company, and sometimes it's hard for me to pump out videos when I get a chance. But I can share with you that not only am I, trying to get a chance to lab when I get an opportunity to, but I'll try to jump online. But I also watch other Madden videos. It's just a part of my thing, so I have an idea what the meta is and what people are using online. I want to show you off-meta stuff based on more sim styles, stuff that you can use as you are playing the game, and you can plug into any game when you're playing. So I'm running the Chicago Bears offense, but it's all off-meta. It is basically how I run first schemes, and then I jump into pass schemes and things that are not very popular. There are some plays I use that some other YouTubers are using, but I just wanted to share this with you. So this is going to be a gameplay. This guy ends up quitting out. He wasn't the best player. He had a handful of good plays. I had a couple bad plays, but I want to kind of show you this gameplay. Just out of curiosity, if you guys are watching, just tell me like what you guys do for a living. That would be great if you could kind of give me an idea what your job is, what you guys do for a living down in the notes. I'd love to get an idea of like my audience and where you guys are located at, so you can do that. So I'm going to be using Chicago Bears as my offense going against the Bengals. This guy was actually a pretty good player. He had a handful of good plays. He wasn't that great on defense. Seemed like he was scrambling, but that's really not a big surprise. On offense, basically what I like to do is, essentially set, conservative on bombs. And then one of the things I'm doing too right now is using midpoint safety strong. Because I like to go ahead and use cover 9 as one of my coverages in passing situations. But if I see a heavy set like this, I'm going to jump into, I'm using Minnesota as a playbook, but I'm going to jump into basically, the 61-43 defense and trying to get a bunch of people in the box and try to defend against the run. The one thing about new Madden, you can't base a line, so you get your players out of position, and it looks like his running back right there actually gets a nice little gainer. It gets 9 yards on that. I want to show you that it actually comes out of strong, like a deuce close. And whenever I see deuce close, I always go into a 3-4 defense, in particular where it's like the cross blitz defense that we have set up like this. And what I like to do is I'd like to take my inside linebackers when I see deuce close. I like to man them up on the outside receivers, and then I'm going to hard flat my outside defenders that are actually in like squat flats, and then I'm going to user the deep third and let that spot player come down into the box and play in the middle of the box. Now, one other thing too is I want to go ahead and take these outside defenders and put them in QB contain so they can get out if he scrambles. But whenever I see deuce close, this is a defense that I run historically, and it pretty much locks everything up. So I've got seam flats set up, but you could see what happens is that these guys go out. He actually had leverage on this defender. I don't know if I hard flatted my guys just because it does take a couple different sets, and this guy quick snapped, but you can see he's got nowhere to go. Now, because I didn't get my QB guy set up, he should be rolling out to contain this guy, and I don't think I actually made that adjustment because they switched up that adjustment. You see he doesn't know where to go with the ball. Because everything is just essentially locked up. These guys are locked up. I'm playing in the middle of the field. But he's got this lane right in front of him because my defender didn't QB contain, it didn't come out. So that was, he makes a really good decision, takes off a burrow, picks up, a good 20 yards on that scramble. So that was really good play. But whenever I see deuce close, man, I'm jumping to this crossfire 3. And I have a setup that essentially will shut down everything that my opponent likes to run, whether you're doing like those cross plays and stuff like that. So here's a play that I'm using in passing situations against passing sets. This is cover 9. I'm going to user this defender. I've got auto flip on. I'm going to spread out the line because these guys get that Texas looping blitz that actually comes in. And I'm going to user this guy, and the third wide receiver essentially is going to be my responsibility in the middle of the field. These guys should lock up underneath. He should cover and lock up over the top, and all I'm doing is just looking for someone to come over the middle of the field and play that, and then I can come down and play hard on any kind of crossing routes over the middle of the field. But this soft squat, this vert hook, this over here really locks up this side of the field, and you can get yourself situations where you can get some interceptions on it. So you can see me coming down to the box. I want to go and defend against the run. He actually does an off tackle run right there, and we get him to basically a 3-yard gainer. Go basically with the same setup, and because I've got the auto flip, I just jump onto this middle safety quickly. I've got the guys aligned out wide, and basically I'm just trying to defend against this anything that comes right over the middle of the field. But I can play really aggressive in the box and then just back up and get in position. So right here actually comes out. You can see right here. Here's my defender in that soft squat. This guy's bracketing right here. If I went with a hard flat, this would have been a pick 6. He threw right into my defender because he actually bet down on that route, and it's a route switch with the cover 9. So cover 9 is something that you're going to use. Now here's a play that is actually in the Minnesota playbook. I don't know where it else at. It's actually a dime mug defense, and what I love about it is that you already have hook zones set up, and if you want to be super aggressive, you can put these guys into soft squats or basically into cloud flats to make sure the pressure comes in. You want to get down to the box, basically go ahead and get over that center. It looks like there's a little switch going on, so it doesn't really clean up the blitz. So I think probably the best thing to do is to set this up where you got your offensive line spread out, because you want to get these guys off the edge quickly. So I don't think I set that up correctly. I'm going to have to lab this defense out. He's using an auto motion. So we got 4 wide receivers off to the left side of the field. I'm going to go ahead and see the pressure come in. And you can see I'm going out here. This guy's a dead route. It's just too far back. I'm actually covering right here. I've got a cover zone right here. And unless he's running to the right, unless he's going to do a quick out to the outside, he's not going to get hit. Get him in a 4th and 14, huddles. Now is when you switch things up. This is when you go and jump into cover 3. You should be playing the sticks in this type of situation. I think I got a little bit nervous and didn't set it up correctly. Runs the same exact play once again. Right here, I go ahead and put everybody up. And actually checks it down underneath, and luckily for me, he does not get an animation and get a first down, so I get the ball, get a loss down type of situation against him. Now, when I'm playing offense, I like to use this heavy twin set. I've got two tight ends over here. This is a wide zone run, and what's cool about this run is that depending on how the defensive lineman is set, as long as I don't have like a bunch, 6 players on this side of the line, I can flip this backside and get to the outside, because there's a lot of blocking that actually happens, and this guy's going to reach, they're going to reach. But this is an extra defender right here. This guy right here, I didn't like this setup, so I'm going to basically run something different. And one of my favorite plays is this play, which is the doubles out. So last year you could just do a little quick hitch. I love to do that. And I've also, because we've got a new return route, I like to go ahead and do another return right here. So what I'll do is I'm going to do a curl route. I'm not going to audible down, but I'm going to leave that as is. And I've got a return route on the backside. Now let's go ahead and set this up, and I'm going to show you basically my reads and what I'm looking at. When I have this particular play set up, let's go ahead and get the return route on the backside. Now I put a curl. Here we go. So here's a return. So my first read is going to be this defender, because I know this guy's got inside leverage with this guy. So I'm going to watch. If this guy floats back, I'm going to this side of the field. I'm going to look for this underneath route, and I've got this whip route following it. So basically my progression is going to be 1, 2, and then 3. That's what I'm looking for in my progression. So we're going to go and snap the ball. Snap the ball. See how this guy he's kind of sitting right here, and he's floating. He's going to get back into that zone. So I just whip my eyes around. His user's right here underneath. So I've got these guys pulling everything out, and I've got this little pocket right here. I'm not trying to get a touchdown. I'm just trying to establish the run underneath routes, making it sure that it's difficult for him to actually go ahead and defend. He actually played cover 4 quarters, and you'll see me come back and expose that a little bit later on. So right here, I think I do a streak and a whip. All right, so streak this guy up, and the reason I streak this guy up is I want to try to clear out the zone. I'm really looking to this route right here. This is where I'm really looking to, because you can see these guys are edge defenders. They're coming in. This guy's so completely out of position. And this guy's got a deep responsibility. That's the area that I'm looking at. So I'm really looking to more the entire time. And you can see he gets inside the leverage, the outside leverage of the defender. And the one guy actually comes down. I'm able to complete that for a first down. So just a very easy to read. This is a stick concept. I could have left the play stock, but I like to just go ahead and give myself a little bit more man-beating options. So right here, I go ahead and jump into 0-1 trap. Anytime the center is uncovered, I will go into a trap play because these trap plays get really good depth if the center is uncovered. So that's just a little tip that I've actually picked up in playing the game. This is something I picked up last year or the year before that. Trap plays are really, really cool. I decided to flip it because this guy's a really good blocker. I want this guy to pull and get these guys up in a higher depth. And watch what happens right here. He gets picked up. He actually goes to the outside. Pulls himself out of position, and I'm able to go and pick up a first down off of a simple 0-1 trap play. Just the base audible I have. So if a guy gives me an open box, I'm going to do that. So now he's going to play in the box. He's going to expect me to run right over the middle of the field. And that's when we go ahead and jump into different plays. Now I want to show you, this guy's got a single high safety. He's got another safety right here, another safety right here. This guy carries over, meaning that he's probably playing basically man coverage. I like to go ahead and flatten this guy out, and the reason why is I want to pull any kind of a flat defender out, leaving this area right here. But really all I'm reading is this defender right here. If this defender actually goes ahead and pushes this wide receiver, I'm basically going to go pop this because this guy's off coverage. If this defender slides out, and I don't like this route right here, don't feel like I can hit this, I'm going to immediately go to this route right here because most people have uniform coverage, meaning there should be a flat defender over here. So we're going to watch this one guy right here because I've got two defenders over two wide receivers. It's just a basically bundle set. You can see I already got the ball out. This defender can't actually defend it because he's not pressing. And right here I'm able to get a nice little completion and pick up 7 yards. Once again, keeping the chains short, staying ahead of the chains against my opponent. Right here I go into a different set. This is the weak set. What I love about this weak set is I've got this fullback dive that I use. What's cool about it is I try to leverage a passing game with this dive. So I'm going to go into stick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to streak up my my running back, and I'm going to motion this guy out. Now, the way I have this offensive set up is that this fullback dive can give me some pretty cheap yards. But I want to motion this guy out to give this guy some window dressing, and I want to show you basically what happens. Okay, so this guy slides out, meaning he's covered. If this guy's got to play deep third, he's not going to be nowhere near around here. So if a guy comes down and plays that, a lot of times this little hitch route will be available. So really this is just a clear out route. I'm just doing 1 and 2. This is all I'm looking to. Now I can, if I wanted to, I can go to the back side of this particular this formation and check that out. But for the most part, I'm only just looking for just a simple Ohio concept. So you can see how this guy kind of stuck right here. If he would have slid out right away, I would have went right to this tight end route and get an easy first down. But I'm able to go and pop this, and because I get some blocking downfield by the running back, I'm able to get the ball into the end zone and get an easy touchdown. So right here, back on defense again. Go with the Texas stunt. This guy actually miscaught the ball in this type of situation, took a delay of game. So this guy's really not that good of a player, or he's just getting distracted. Maybe he's got family. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but he wasn't really the best player. He goes with a simple, basically a simple slants concept, quick snaps it. And you can see with this, pretty much everything is just locked up against this guy. He only picks up, a handful of yards, 5 yards. Because he took a delay of game, that was a situation where he didn't pick up yards. Now, I see tight sets. I like to run cover 3. When you use your middle safety, you do expose yourself for a deep post. So it's very important that you basically get out of position. But I'm really trying to shut down mesh more than anything else. I want to make sure I shut down mesh with a cover 3 shell and hope that he doesn't expose me over the middle of the field. So I'm going to take my guy down to the box and try to go ahead and attack the run. You can see he actually does run the ball. I'm actually got my guys in run fits, get them into a 3rd and 7. So this is where I get a little bit greedy. I go into this 1-4 double mug coverage. He's got basically trip set. Smart thing to do right here is actually put this guy into some type of a zone, like a soft squat or a cloud flat, and just hope that this blitz goes out. And one other thing too, you can see this guy's actually kind of this should be, you basically crash the defensive line out, so there's no inside blitzing. He actually picks up everything. He's got an extra blocking right there. He's able to go hit the flat and get a really nice chunk of change. Now, if I had that one guy in a soft squat, he would have been down there to go ahead and make that play, or a cloud flat to make that play, and I actually gave that up. Right here, I go ahead and jump into the 61 defense and basically shift my line off to the left. I'm going to backside this user right here and look for anything crossing over the middle with the hope that this guy has got this locked up and I've got a flat defender that's going to be on the backside. So shift the line over to try not to get out leveraged. I've got this guy in a run fit. He's going to back up, but he's actually kind of in a run fit. I'm going to pull my guys down. You can see he's got nowhere to go with the ball. He does pick up some 3 yards. His running back actually picked some pretty good yards right there. So back at the cover 9, once again, you can see the cover 9. These guys are going to match up. I've got another wide receiver. I've got 3 wide receivers here. So these guys are going to match. They also will provide switches with the cover 9. And this 3-rec hook is going to get underneath any kind of route. My responsibility is to play down here and make sure that this crossing route, he doesn't streak me up over the middle of the field with that. So look what happens with this route right here. This is a vert hook, but really it's basically cover 1 man with it set, but it has switch responsibility. So look how this guy carries. Look, that's a vert hook, and he carries. This guy kind of carries, but I've got like a crossing route out to the outside, and he's got a route up under the underside. So this is the route that actually he should have been looking to, but you can see he does have inside leverage with a pass, but I have a defender right there. So if it was a situation where I was able to click on, I probably would have picked up some more yards. Clock is moving down. This guy actually had poor clock management. He wasn't really great. Right here, I go ahead and use the hard flats because he's been pretty much throwing everything underneath. And it goes a little crossing route right here. Once again, another missed opportunity by my defensive back that should have been intercepted based on him throwing the flat. So I think I stick with this. He no huddles. Once again, the clock is actually chewing down. I stay with just the basic coverage. He goes back to slants. He doesn't know where to go with it, and I get a coverage sack. So right here, I think I decide to go and jump into the double A gap. I get a little bit greedy. This is just one of those things where it's just like, okay, I'm going to go after this guy. But take a look. He's got basically 4 wide receivers over here. He's got a single wide receiver here. This type of formation, a quad formation, I should be probably sticking with the cover 9 and just basically say, hey, you want to beat me, you can go and beat me over the top. He goes with an underneath flat route, and actually I go ahead and tackle him for a 3rd and 16. And I think this is where I was actually, he no huddles once again. I go into cover 3, and I think I'm trying to set things up where I'm trying to go ahead and hit this guy with this. He goes right back to the same play again. He's got little crossing routes. This is a really good read. So my guys are scrambling. I'm trying to go ahead and take away his route. This guy's just sitting on an island right here, and this is a good read by him. I'm not going to take anything away from his decision making. He actually makes a really good read, throws across the middle of the field, and gets himself a situation where he picks up a first down out of that. So you got to give it to, when your opponent makes a good play. It wasn't a lucky play. It was a good decision by him. He kept scrambling. He really didn't know where to go with the ball with his hot reads. He wasn't getting rid of the ball in the pocket. Right here, the clock is down to 11 seconds. So I'm thinking, okay, this guy's got terrible clock management, but I'm having a hard time switching my plays. I'm trying to switch my plays, and I can't get my plays to switch. I think I'm actually forced to go ahead and take a timeout in this situation, but I'm actually stuck into a defense I'm not normally running, so I decided to jump into cover 4, and I don't run this correctly. I go ahead and use the mug player, and my responsibility, actually you could see the mesh responsibility is just completely messes up cover 4. I probably should have just stayed with the cover 2, but this guy's naked. He's completely naked. So I didn't know my responsibility. I probably should have stayed as a quarter defender, and right there he actually gets the ball down. He actually settles for the field goal, which was smart because he's only down by basically a possession. So putting points on the board is the most important thing, especially considering I'm getting the ball in the second half. So right here, once again, another single high safety, but I think what I did, let's go ahead and see what I do. with this. It's a very crowded box. He's got a lot of people in the box right here, and I go into this particular play right here, which essentially is a play action. I don't like play action animations, so I usually try to cancel it out, and I find that this is really good against man coverages. But really, I'm just looking at this 1, 2, and then I might come back to this as a 3. I'm looking for the underneath immediately if the defenders float up. You can see these guys floating up. So the middle of the field is going to be wide open, and you go see, I'll just try to get rid of that ball really quick. I get it quick and actually pick up an easy first down. So I'll jump into passing formations if he gives me a really heavy box. Right here, he's actually got 2 high safeties. He's got his guys spread out. It's telling me to go ahead and run the ball with the wide zone, but I don't really feel comfortable with that. I jump in a duo with the hope that one of these guys is going to come up and go to the next level and block. And I quickly learn on this play that doesn't happen. Look at this guy, just comes rifling in and actually gets me in the backfield for a 3-yard loss, I think. So, or 2-yard loss right there. So Wilson basically got me the backfield. Now I'm behind the chains, and these are situations I don't like being in. When I'm seeing situations, passing situations, I like this play. This is a setup I like to do. I like to take this guy and put this guy in a deep comeback route. I'm going to drag up this wide receiver. I've got this route right here, and then I've got a clear out zone right here. And then what I like to do is I like to go and put this guy up into the seam. Now with verticals, this is a very common play that you can use. All I'm really doing is I'm watching this defender. If this defender carries with the drag, this will be open right here. If this defender floats away, the drag typically would be wide open, and it's actually going to go ahead and provide me that. If the guy actually shoots out, sometimes I can hit this little streak route on the backside. So just watch. Well, I'm just really watching one defender when I make this read and kind of make a decision where he can go. So he's using this guy, and he actually has to carry with this. So he's in a situation where he's on the wrong guy, and he doesn't know where to go with it. There was some matching principles right there, but you could see this deep comeback route has got leverage. The ball's already out of my hands. I know exactly where I'm going to go because I've got, he's over the top of me, and I can actually get an easy completion for a first down with a deep comeback. So, I know people are starting to talk about deep comebacks. Deep comebacks have been a staple of my offense that I've been using for years. Go to the outside run right here. He gets off my block. I just find it on the right side of my line, or it just might be me that I'm really having a hard time running off to the right side of the line. Read option, basically with this, and I think what I do is I jump into this particular play right here. I got a streak that I streak up right here, and I'm gonna always look to this route first, and then my next progression is going to be this guy right here. And then depending on the leverage, I'm going to do this. Now, you can see how this guy's outside leverage. This means he's playing a cloud flat. So this route is dead to me. I should not throw that. I should really be looking for this route right here to see if I can pop it in there. And if this guy slides out, this route should be available for me. So I think I go with this here play right here. I'm looking to the running back. See how this guy's floating up? So the running back actually gets out. This is my read because he's actually kind of following out. And I've got basically smash concept on the backside. I try to get the ball out to the running back right away, and his defender actually comes down and pops the ball out. So I think he's playing cover 2 in that type of situation. It really takes it away. So take a look at the coverage right here. These guys are aligned. This guy's slightly shaded out. This guy's slightly shaded out. This is showing me some type of a cover 3 type shell or cover 4 type shell. So I think I jump once again back in the same play. Streak up the wide receiver. I'm going to watch this defender. If this defender doesn't come out, I'm going to try to pop this in the seam. I want to force him to actually defend it, but then I'm going to start looking at my progressions over here. And if this guy plays in and stays underneath, this route right here should be available. Now, I think it got a little bit ugly. See the streak. This guy slides out. I'm actually doing a little curl route on the backside. And I really should be looking to this running back right here, but this guy's a little bit out of position. This is a bad decision by me. Once I saw this guy sliding out, I should be looking to the running back underneath. That's the right decision as far as who I should be going to. But I get a completion by Moore. He makes a huge play, racks this ball. That's one of the things that's great about this DJ Moore, is that he does get a lot of rack animations. It will break tackles and stuff like that. So quickly go ahead and jump into basically the fullback dive. Usually when I see the center uncovered once again, I'm going to try to go ahead and do this, but I think these guys just shoot the gap and get in the backfield. But I will go ahead and do something like this. Yeah, I got this guy motioned out. He's probably thinking of passing play right here, and you could see how this guy actually got to the outside. But if this guy didn't come to the outside, this would have been a huge play with basing on the double blocking that I had on the inside tackles of that. So that's why I have that particular play in my arsenal. I just want to go ahead and throw that as a scheme. So right here I go ahead and jump into this play. Now what I've noticed is that the stock quick outs or like a corner is really not that good. So I've noticed that your spacing gets better if you actually re-audible this as an out. It gives a little bit deeper depth, and you don't get a lot of people bumping into each other. The tight end will actually bump into it. But really what I'm looking for is I'm watching this guy right here. If this guy floats, I'm going to look for this little delay route in the middle of the field. If this guy sticks down and plays with this guy, I'm going to go ahead and get this little out route on the backside. I'm not even looking on this side of the field. There's a lot of great stuff on this side, and actually I think it's just a better route progression on the backside. You see he changes up his defense. I'm not making any kind of change. You see how this guy kind of floats up. This guy slants comes over, this guy comes over, and he's sitting right here, and then he's going to come over after the defense floats. But this route, I think, on the backside is wide open too. So I could have went to either side of the field, basically making his user not important. He gets themselves out of position. It seems like everybody that's playing online is really hard to user a guy. You get a position, but I get a touchdown. So this is pretty much the end of the game right here. This guy kind of mentally checks out. Me being up 14-3, he's already gotten a couple of, he got a stop. He hasn't really had shown any kind of action. I go into 61 defense with a cover 3 shell, switch it, try to hit this guy with some type of a blitz. You can see the pressure kind of gets picked up. He doesn't know where to go with it. I'm unable to get an animation interception right there. So 2nd and 15, once again, same blitz. I want to get edge pressure, so I think I flipped the play because I've got basically edge pressure. You can see the guy comes off the edge right there and actually picks him up. So that's a good play to actually have, that cover 3 shell. Then this guy's not making fast progressions, so I can be a little bit aggressive, and he actually checks out. So guys, I want to thank you once again for your support. Hey, let me know where you guys are, what you guys do for a living, where you're located at. I'd love to just get some feedback to kind of get an idea of my audience. And thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.